Well, Dave, here we go again. It's still that busy time of the season. Even though there's only a few games to go, it's still Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday games. But the big news that coming out of football, of course, today is the proposal of the Super League, and it looks as though everybody's forgetting about what football's all about, supporters and the grassroots levels. What are your thoughts? Just summing it up, what you've heard.
It doesn't surprise me. That's the first thing. Very little in football surprises me now. I've been in it long enough, and the project big picture that everyone sort of railed against. You go, well, because it gave more power, but it kept the big clubs domestically. Well, they've gone and done what they wanted to do anyway, so it doesn't surprise me. Does it affect us here, the crew? No, probably not. It might do in the long run. I haven't seen the detail of it, and the devil is always in the detail. I do think it just sticks two fingers up to the fans, the lifeblood of any football club, and these huge corporations, because that's what they are now. Believe they probably can do it without their local fans. They obviously think they're big enough as a brand to take it across Europe and develop fan bases across Europe, in hubs, if you like, having a Manchester United supporters club in Madrid. I'm sure there's one already going, I would imagine, but, making that 5,000 strong and 15,000 strong or whatever the number is, I don't know. It boils down to one thing and one thing only: money. That's it, money. Add in a bit of power, a few egos, and you've got a problem. That's my view.
Let's move on, because we could talk about it for ages and ages. It ain't going to do us any good. We're in the Football League and enjoying what we're doing, of course. You made a nice little word there. It doesn't surprise you. Does this surprise you? You've conceded 3 penalties in the last 5 games.
I didn't know. I hadn't picked up on it. It's not a good start, obviously. It doesn't help. That's for sure. Certainly doesn't help. It's obviously not as bad as what it can be, because 2 of them were saved, although one of them did lead to a goal. You can't make mistakes in any league, whether it be the Premier League or League Two. And obviously, we're in the middle of that. As catastrophic as giving away penalties, because they're just cheap ways to concede, and we've got to be better at that. It's as simple as that. So it's a good place to start.
You're coming up to your 42nd game in the higher league, which has been a real eye opener, because it's been a terrific sort of league that you've been involved in. Do you just feel, I know you won't use it as an excuse, but do you just feel that the demand that the season has brought on your players? I think there's probably only 4 or 5 in your squad that have tasted League One football before. Do you think it's just catching them out now as you come to the last few weeks of the season?
I think you can use that as an excuse. I think there's some foundations maybe for 1 or 2 of them, but only 1 or 2. Certainly not a lot of them, that's for sure. I think when you put everything into context, the truncated season, the extra demands of what COVID has placed on training regimes, etc. It has been tough. It's certainly been tough mentally, without a shadow of a doubt. Which I know, when you see things about mental health nowadays, it seems to be a default position. But it can't be used as an excuse. That's not to say that I don't want to sound as though I'm dismissive of mental health. I think I'm really in tune with it. But I think it's very easy to go, oh no, I'm tired. I'm tired in my head. Well, let's address that. That's a problem. Let's address that problem, because when you address the problem, it'll go away. And then we'll like anything, it's a health issue. and you've got to keep working at that. So I think initially it's highlighted as a problem, but then you've got to plot your way through it and get your way through it. And that's, like I said, that's the same with fitness, if you like, or any other challenge that you may encounter, whether that be mental or physical or tactical, whatever. So we know we've got 5 games to go, and we're going to have 5 challenges, and we've got to make sure that we embrace them challenges and give a good account of ourselves. We conceded 2 goals trying to play the right way on Saturday. It's interesting, we got a point against Portsmouth, probably not playing any football. So, there's that risk and reward, and we're in a period of the season now where we're not going to go up, we're not going to go down. That's the truth. So we've got the freedom that's very rarely afforded. So we can, give the lads freedom, give them a structure, give them things to work on in the toughest environment that they're going to face, that being game days. So, we've got a great opportunity to learn a hell of a lot about our players in the next 4 or 5 games, and that's what we intend to do.
The one thing that you will demand is to see a committee performance from once they step over the white line, because we spoke about it before. Fans are still paying some money. They're still, coughing up the £10 to watch it. And it would be disappointing for everybody that you're probably losing more games in this last few weeks than you've done in a sequence all season.
Yeah, well, we've had a poor month, but I got asked on Saturday, is it a disappointing season? Which I find remarkable. I have to say, I find remarkable. We've sold 2 players to the Championship. We've got the lowest budget in the division, which is fact. It's not me waxing lyrical, it's fact. We play some good stuff. We're developing players. And we've never had to look over our shoulders once all year. We've been actually looking the other way. All in the midst of off-field issues. All in the midst of a global pandemic. And we're just ticking along nicely. I'll take another disappointing season next year if we're 15th. That's the truth. That's not being unambitious or pessimistic in my outlook. That's the brutal reality of where we're at. There's teams in the division that can afford 4, 5, 6, 7 times what we can afford. That doesn't make 15th disappointing. We're overachieving by, I don't think there's many teams, maybe Accrington who are a couple of places above us, and maybe 1 or 2 places above us in the budget league, if you want to call it that might be getting more value for money. I don't think anyone else is. In fact, I know no one else is. So I think we're going along great, and irrespective of what happens in the next 4 or 5 games, we've had a decent season, a good season. Don't get me wrong, we don't want to finish on a damp squib, we don't want to finish on a whimper. We want to make sure that people who are paying their hard-earned money feel justified, feel rewarded and proud of what we've done. But these next 4 or 5 games and the last 4 or 5 games don't define our season. And we've got to, the questions will always get asked why you're losing games of football. So we've got to make sure we don't lose games of football so that people don't ask them questions.
Well, it doesn't look as though he's won enough games, Dave. Breaking news is Jose Mourinho's had the sack. So that is an interesting one, isn't it? That's broke while we're talking. I can't believe what's going on in the world of football. Super League and Jose loses his job at Tottenham. Anyway, David Artell's taking his team to Fleetwood, and they've got another manager since you last played them, in Simon Grayson. Interesting game. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously Simon's an experienced manager, Championship League One manager, knows his stuff. Was at our game last Tuesday. I think we'll have seen 2 decent teams, so I'm sure he's prepared his team properly. They've got some good players, an established League One team in Fleetwood. It's always a tough place to go. Whenever you go to Highbury, it's a tough place to go. Josie found that out. we'll find it out, I'm sure. But we've got to make sure that you know, we perform better than what we probably have done in the last couple of games, or 2 of the last 3 games, that's for sure.